Here I have the number 15. The number 15 is made up of 5 ones and 1 10. I can represent this number in two ways with the MAB blocks. Can you think of the two ways? I could use 5 ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 10, or I could use 15 ones. Count them with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now I've represented the same number. Both of these representations are of the number 15, but they are different representations of the number 15. Let's try it with a different number. Here I have the number 26. I can represent this number with 6 ones blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 10s. Or I could represent it with how many ones? That's right, 26 ones. Here we have 26 ones. So again, I am representing the same number, which was 26. I am just representing it in the two different ways, because 2 10s and 6 ones is the same as 26 ones. Let's try it with a number in the hundreds. Here I have the number 120. I can represent this number using 2 10s and 100. But I can also represent this number using just the tens blocks. How many tens blocks would I need to make 120? Have a think. That's right, I would need 12. Count them with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the number 120 can be represented with 100s or 2 10s and 2 10s, or 12 10s. Of course we could represent this number in ones, but we would need how many ones to represent this number? Yep, we would need 120 ones to represent this number. And that's a lot of counting. So remember, 12 10s is the same as 120. Let's have a look at the top of the page. I have the number 4,232. So I'm going to use my MAB blocks to represent this number. I have how many thousands in this number? 4. So I need 4 thousands blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next one is our hundreds. How many hundreds are in this number? So I would need 2 hundreds to represent 200. And we're looking at our tens next. The number was 4,232. So I would need 3 tens to represent 30. And to finish it off, I would need 2 ones. 1, 2. Perfect. Now to represent this number using different MAB blocks, it's going to get a little bit tricky and a little bit messy. So that's where we go back to our lesson beforehand and we would use our expander to help us know how to represent this number using different MABs. So I'm just going to bring in our expander, which I know that we've already done a lot of work with, but just to practice. So I'm going to write the number 4,232 into our expander. Now we can see how many hundreds blocks we would need to represent this number. So if we needed 4,000s and 200s, we would need 4,200 blocks, 3 tens and 2 ones. If we were going to use tens, we would need 423 tens and 2 ones. And if we were going to use ones, of course, we would need 4,232 of our ones blocks. Gee, I'm glad I pulled that expander in, otherwise we would be here for days. Let's have a look at the number on the top of this page. We have the number 12,321. We're going to have a look at different ways we can use in the blocks to represent this number. So, how many thousands blocks would I need to represent this number? Yep, I would need 12, so let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, not going to have enough space, 10, 11, 12. Now if we can fit them, how many hundreds blocks would we need to represent 12,321? It tells us we need 3. 1, might have to make it a bit smaller. 1, 2, 3 hundreds blocks. And tens, the number 21, it needs 2 tens. 1, 1, 2, and 1, 1. Alright, now if I was going to represent that number in a different way using blocks, I would need, how many hundreds blocks would I need? Alright, we're going to do the same thing for 12,321. So let us have a look at the expander. Alright, so I'm going to write the number 12,321 into our expander. 12,300s, 2 tens and 1 1. How many hundreds would we need? Yep, 123 hundreds, 2 tens and 1 1. Now we're going to look at our tens. We will need 1,232 tens and 1 1. And if we were going to have a look at doing it in ones, of course, we would need 12,321 ones blocks. Yep, definitely glad we brought that expander in. Alright, so I hope that you can see that we can represent the same number in a number of different ways. Using our MABs, we can write it in words, we can put it onto an expander and change what value representation we have, but regardless of what we use, the number does not change value. We may be able to show it differently using our MABs, but the number stays the same. Thank you for listening.